Most gardeners waste wood ash in one of two ways. They either sprinkle it straight onto the soil, where the nutrients wash away after the next heavy rain, or they avoid using it altogether because they've heard it burns plants. Both mistakes cost your garden valuable minerals that could have stayed in the soil for years instead of weeks. There's a simple method that locks those minerals into your garden far longer, and once you understand why it works, you'll never look at wood ash the same way again. One thing that made this method much more reliable for me was actually measuring my soil before making any changes. A good soil moisture meter that also reads soil temperature and light conditions helps prevent one of the biggest mistakes gardeners make, trying to fix nutrient problems that are actually caused by poor watering or cold soil. I'll leave the exact soil moisture meter I use in the description if you want to check it out. It saved me from chasing problems that had nothing to do with fertilizer. If you're serious about growing healthier vegetables, consider subscribing because this channel focuses on practical techniques that actually work in real gardens. Most people think wood ash is a fertilizer. It isn't, not in the way compost or manure is. Wood ash is mainly a mineral source. It contains calcium, potassium, magnesium, phosphorus, and dozens of trace elements. The problem is that many of those minerals dissolve quickly, especially potassium. Spread fresh ash before a rainy week, and a significant portion can move below the root zone before your vegetables ever use it. That's where this forgotten technique changes everything. Instead of applying loose ash directly, combine 4 parts dry hardwood ash with 1 part fine clay soil. Add just enough water until it feels like firm modeling clay. Form small balls about 1 to 2 inches across, or press the mixture into flat discs. Let them dry completely in the sun for several days until they're hard. Now comes the important part. Fire those dried pieces in a small outdoor fire, charcoal grill, or wood-burning stove until they become hard like lightweight stone. You don't need industrial temperatures. The goal isn't making bricks. You're creating a mineral matrix that slows how quickly those nutrients dissolve once they're buried in the garden. This is where many gardeners misunderstand what's happening. The minerals aren't disappearing. They're becoming trapped inside a porous structure that gradually breaks down through moisture, soil microbes, root acids, and natural weathering. Instead of losing minerals in one season, you're creating a slow-release reservoir that continues feeding soil year after year. I've buried these mineral stones about 6 to 8 inches deep beneath tomato plants, peppers, squash, and fruit trees. After 2 growing seasons, they're still slowly releasing nutrients. That's a completely different result from simply scattering ash across the surface every spring. There's another advantage most gardeners never notice until they compare beds side by side. Loose ash often creates concentrated alkaline pockets near the surface, especially if applied heavily. Those pockets can temporarily interfere with nutrient availability, particularly iron. That's why people sometimes complain that wood ash caused yellow leaves. In reality, it wasn't the ash itself, it was applying too much in one place. When minerals release slowly from fired ash stones, the surrounding soil chemistry changes much more gradually. Roots have time to adjust, beneficial microbes remain active, and nutrient balance stays more stable. Of course, this isn't suitable for every garden. If your soil already has a pH above 7.2, adding significant amounts of wood ash usually creates more problems than benefits. Always test first. On the other hand, gardeners working with acidic soils between pH 5.5 and 6.5 often see excellent long-term improvements when these mineral stones are used sparingly. 1 stone every 12 to 18 inches beneath heavy feeding vegetables is usually plenty. More isn't better. Plants grow from balance, not excess. Here's something else I discovered after testing this in raised beds. The stones actually become small habitats for beneficial microbes. Their porous surfaces stay slightly damp after irrigation, allowing bacteria and fungi to colonize them. Over time, the stones become biological hotspots that slowly cycle nutrients rather than simply storing them. That's one reason older gardens often seem to become more productive without dramatically increasing fertilizer applications. They're slowly building stable mineral reserves alongside thriving microbial communities. Container gardeners can benefit too, although the scale changes. Instead of large stones, make pieces about the size of a walnut and bury one near the bottom of a 10 to 15 gallon vegetable container. As roots develop throughout the season, they'll gradually access those stored minerals without experiencing sudden nutrient spikes. Hydroponic growers won't use the stones directly, but the principle is still valuable. Stable mineral availability always produces healthier growth than sudden fluctuations. Whether nutrients come from solution reservoirs or living soil, consistency almost always outperforms extremes. One warning is worth mentioning because I've seen it ruin otherwise good gardens. Never use ash from painted wood, pressure-treated lumber, plywood, MDF, charcoal briquettes containing additives, or burned household waste. Only clean hardwood ash should be used. Contaminated ash can introduce heavy metals and chemicals you definitely don't want around edible crops. Patience is what makes this technique so effective. Many gardeners expect instant results from every amendment they add. Healthy soil doesn't work that way. The best gardens become richer every season because they build long-term mineral reserves instead of constantly replacing nutrients that washed away months earlier. Once you begin thinking about your soil as a living mineral bank rather than something that needs constant feeding, your entire approach to gardening changes. Plants become stronger, fertilizer costs often decrease, and your soil keeps improving instead of starting over every spring. If you found this practical, subscribe to FarmLogic for more real-world gardening techniques backed by experience rather than trends. And if you know another gardener who's still throwing wood ash straight onto the soil,